Hi everybody and welcome back to Steph's Stories and Crafts. This week's story is called the Teacup Tree. So we will be making our own teacup fairy gardens. What I'm using for this project are old unused teacups, soil, larger pebbles for draining, smaller pebbles for fairy paths across the moss. I actually got mine from the pebbles that came in the succulents I'm using. Succulents are a great option because you can get them nice and small, but they also are easy to care for, so your child can do it themselves. I'm also using some sheet moss to lay across the top and use as fairy grass, scissors to cut the moss with, a spoon to use as my shovel. I also have a bottle of water here to keep the soil moist, which makes it easier to use, and a spray bottle with water in it to keep the moss green. The first step is to take your larger pebbles and put them in the bottom of your teacup for draining. Then put a few spoonfuls of soil into your cup. You don't want to fill it with the soil just yet because you're going to be adding your plants. Now, as I said, my succulents came with some miniature gravel on the top. So since I'm not using all of that, I take out my succulents over the container I'm using for the gravel so I don't make too much of a mess. You will also note that I have put out newspaper here to prevent a terrible mess and make for a little easier cleanup. If you have the option of doing it outside, I highly recommend that as well. Once you've added all of the plants you're putting in your teacup, go ahead and fill in the gaps with some more soil. Once you've finished adding your soil and your plants are tucked in tight, it's time to add a blanket of moss. Now, I cut small pieces of moss off of the sheet to add a little bit at a time because my surface area is so small. Once you have your moss in and covering all of the soil, go ahead and add the tiny pebbles and make a little fairy path across the top. And there you have it, your very own teacup fairy garden. These are great for kids who want to have their own plant and learn a little bit about botany and responsibility. Succulents are great starter plants for kids as they don't take much work to care for them. And these little fairy gardens are so cute, they make the perfect centerpiece for a tea party. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed making your own fairy gardens. Tune in on Wednesday for the teacup tree.